This video was created purely for entertainment purposes only. Everything in this video is my opinion and is not meant to harm, hurt, or misinform anyone. Audio and video clips edited from content found on YouTube. It is all a figment of my imagination.
They hide the truth in movies and books and TV shows and even commercials. But not everyone has the eyes to see.
This very bizarre commercial that everybody out there should be able to see that this has nothing to do with actually selling a product. KFC lures Gen Z into its bizarre cult and doesn't care if it's polarizing. The ad by Mother London culminates with a gravy baptism urging people to believe in the brand.
A gravy baptism?
You are watching High-lyMotivated, a Jesus-loving channel where we watch wild conspiracy videos and learn about the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. We are the body of Christ, we stay prayed up and highly motivated. The truth hits different if you live in the lie. Put on the full armor of God and stay prayed up and highly motivated. We are the body of Christ, we stay prayed up and highly motivated. Join the family, like, share, and subscribe.
Today's decode is from the Nations Conspire channel. Now, this creator has been around for a long time and he's had many other channels under many different names. One was a call for uprising, but he tells the truth. And so he's had channel after channel shut down. So go on over to Nations Conspire, subscribe, show him some support, show him some love, because he's been screaming from the rooftops trying to wake people up just like we are.
This is the Nations Conspire channel. Welcome to today's show. Kentucky Fried Chicken has released a new commercial which shows a lot of truth in plain sight. And a lot of course, occult paganism in plain sight, a lot of mockery in plain sight, and even goes as far as to show us the truth about what's really in Kentucky Fried Chicken meat, and it's not.
And listen, you see that golden egg on the screen, right? If you did not see the previous Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial decode, I'm going to try to remember to link it in this video so that way you can check it out. It did feature the golden egg in the last one.
What you think? And as you can see on your screen, this is how it's being advertised, this is how they're reporting on this very bizarre commercial that everybody out there should be able to see, and I'm going to play it for you in a minute. Everybody out there should be able to see that this has nothing to do with actually selling a product. That's what marketing is supposed to be. You got a product, you say, hey, we need to sell this to people. We need to make money. That's what businesses do. Well, they don't care anymore. I mean, all these Freemasons and secret societies, they print money and give it to themselves, right?
That's what I'm saying. They don't care anymore because everything is owned by the same companies. It's like Umbrella Corp. It's literally everything is owned by what? BlackRock, Vanguard, and then what? State Street. And then those entities own each other. So there's just a very small group of people at the top owning everything.
This is about straight up showing you the truth in plain sight. And as it says, KFC lures Gen Z into its bizarre cult and doesn't care if it's polarizing. The ad by Mother London culminates with a gravy baptism urging people to believe in the brand. And as I read there, the ad...
A gravy baptism? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, that's awful.
It's produced by Mother London. If you look up Mother London, particularly their Instagram account, you could see the logo that they use for their Instagram account. They got that X right behind the word mother. I don't know, are they branded with Elon Musk's X? Or are they...
And then how many followers do they have? 88.8. What's 88? Hail Hitler. That's what that means. It's the what? The Fourth Reich. Okay.
They just branded with the occult. Well, clearly they're branded with these secret societies, right? The X, of course, a symbol used in Freemasonry. Osiris risen. You could see Aleister Crowley doing the X symbol over his chest. All of these celebrities who have done this symbol in magazine photo shoots, from Stephen King, to Morgan Freeman, to John Bon Jovi.
What do you mean they're just being artistic and original?
This is a symbol that often gets overlooked, but it is the Osiris risen, the OTO, seen in Freemasonry, the X symbol in the Masonic Lodge, and it has to do with the Antichrist. And I've broken that down in separate videos, which you can find on the website. So we have a connection right off the bat.
And it's not lost on me that that egg is what? Gold. Golden Voyager. Gold's associated with Apollo, associated with Lucifer. We've just been talking about this.
Obviously, through signs and symbols with the people responsible for producing the ad, but really the connection goes back to Colonel Sanders himself, because anybody out there, if you didn't know, Colonel Sanders, of course, is rich and prominent, not because he makes great chicken wings and great chicken tenders. Of course, he stole, most people should know that he stole the actual operation from someone else's, but all of these Masons do. They steal, they kill, they take people's ideas. They pretend that you could go on shows like Shark Tank and become a millionaire. Just come up with a great idea. No. That's not the way that this world works. It works through the control that these secret societies have over our society. And of course, it starts at your own hometown, because every hometown, or every town, I should say, has their own Freemasonic Lodge and Eastern Star lodges, and that's where these people...
And that is a fact. I live in a town of around 1,200 people, and 3 blocks down the street, there is a Freemason lodge. And, you know, random days of the week, there'll be tons of cars, like, parked down there. There's nothing going on in this town. It's really suspicious to me, honestly.
People meet, and then these people conspire. And they conspire and they network into school systems, into the police force, you name it, they're in it, they're controlling and manipulating it. So this is from the Grand Lodge of British Columbia. You can see Colonel Sanders right on there. You can see at the bottom, initiated April 6th, 1817. There's photos of, obviously, Colonel Sanders wearing his Shriner's hat. And if that's not enough for you, of course, right on his gravesite, Colonel Sanders, September 9th, 1890, founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken Empire. You can see the Freemasonic logo, the Shriners logo, and even up here with the number 33 on it. That is his actual gravesite. So there's no conspiracy as far as Colonel Sanders being a Freemason. It's just more truth in plain sight. So let's play this commercial now of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Remember, the purpose of these commercials is to make you want to go and eat the product or buy the product. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be, right? That's just common sense 101. They show you a commercial, you see pizza. Suddenly you're craving pizza, then you go and get pizza, right? Well, I don't know how anybody could look at this and anything more than truth in plain sight, because they're not actually trying to sell you chicken tenders. They're trying to sell you, well, or tell you, I should say, that you're consuming human meat, as well as the baptism ritual and that giant egg that ascends from the sky, which I'll get into after the video. Take a look.
Soylent Green. Where are all the people? Are the cemeteries in your town growing? Are they ever, adding more land? Where's the bodies? Where are all the bodies of all the people? McDonald's goes through like 65 million or billion pounds of beef. Where are they getting that from? Where's all those cows?
So, of course, we've seen companies become more and more obvious with these things, showing occult symbolism, whether it's Arby's recently, which I exposed, doing the all-seeing eye using the pyramid, or Taco Bell with Belluminati. This is truth in plain sight. They try to use humor to get away with showing you the obvious, right? And then, of course, they'll laugh and dismiss people like us who have talked for years about what's really in the meat at these places. But let's start with the obvious right off the bat. If you didn't notice, there was a chicken. Of course, they decided to zoom in right on his eye. But I'm sure that's a coincidence, right? They just thought that the chicken, the fictional chicken that they created with CGI, had a beautiful eye. Is that why we zoom in on its eye? Right? Is that
Oh my gosh, and remember the old commercial where they're like, where's the beef? Where's the beef? What if they were just telling you there isn't any beef? Where is it?
Why all the celebrities hold their hand up over their eye? We're supposed to believe they just like to play peekaboo with everybody.
It's
and the
artistic.
thousands of photos of celebrities that hold their hand up over there. Or the eye on the back of the dollar bill, right? That's a conspiracy too, right? Of course, this is the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, the eye of providence, and they always show you this in pretty much every single thing that they produce. It's just very, very common now that people don't even care. They don't even go, hey, look, they're doing all-seeing eye symbols. They go, they're just trolling, right? So then you get the golden egg descending from the sky, right? And this is symbolic. Why? Because that's Semiramis who's descending from the sky, the Babylonian queen Semiramis. Semiramis, a figure often associated with the goddess Ishtar. It's believed that Semiramis is Ishtar in the flesh, is said to have descended from the moon in a giant egg, which then fell into Euphrates River, becoming known as Ishtar's egg and symbolizing fertility and new life. Now, some again suggest that Semiramis is actually the embodiment of Ishtar, the ancient goddess Ishtar. And Ishtar is, of course, associated with the pagan traditions of Easter that most people celebrate and don't really understand what they're doing about, painting eggs and the Easter bunny, right? But it's about more than just fertility. But if for anybody out there that doesn't know about Semiramis, Semiramis is often portrayed as the mother and wife of Nimrod. Nimrod, of course, associated with the Tower of Babel and the founding of the Assyrian Empire, with some accounts even suggesting that he was having incestuous relationships. And Nimrod, of course, is associated with what? Nimrod is associated with Santa Claus, for anyone out there that doesn't know. So here's your connection to your pagan holidays that are celebrated by most people out there. You have the long beard, you have the holding of the reindeer, the holding of the Christmas tree. And of course, Nimrod's birthday is actually December 25th. And most people should know that Jesus Christ's birthday is not December 25th. It does not align with what we're told about the night that Jesus is born. But more specifically, it's very easy to see, obviously, Saturnalia is really what the winter solstice is about. And of course, Nimrod, being the husband of his, being married to, and also the mother, Samarias, Nimrod, of course, is associated with the Tower of Babel. And that has everything to do with what this is all about. It's about the recreation of the Tower of Babel.
Right,
the Tower of Babel.
The Babylonian system
Is a symbol of rebellion against God. It is the reason that God divided the nations and stopped these men from their wicked plans of overruling or overtaking God, which they believe they could actually do. Well, guess what? They're closer than ever to rebuilding the actual Tower of Babel. And if you're looking around going, they're building a Tower of Babel? I haven't seen a big tower being built that's going to go up through the clouds into the heavens. Well, they're rebuilding the Tower of Babel through artificial intelligence by connecting everybody back together. Again, that's what it's about. God divided the nations. He divided the people. He scrambled the languages. That's where the word Babel even comes from, where you talk about language and babble. Right? The definition of babble is a confused noise made by a number of voices or a scene of noisy confusion. You'd say, oh, this person was just babbling, right? People use that in their day-to-day life. Oh, this person was, they were babbling on and on and on, right? Well, that's to do with the Bible, of course, because everything going on around us does have to do with the Bible. So you see the obvious egg symbolism. And again, another thing that's associated with Ishtar, Samarius, is that on Easter they would impregnate 70 virgins, and then on the following year they would sacrifice the 3-month-old infants, and then they would dip eggs in their red liquid that comes out of their body, which the algorithm doesn't like me to say, but it sounds a lot like the word blood. I guess I'll just say it, right? And hand them out amongst one another as part of the ritual and the rebirth. And rebirth is a very common term that we always hear again.
Okay, so you've got the serpent, you've got that moon, you've got them sacrificing to this false god, and this is what's being represented in a KFC commercial.
With the occult, rebirth, phoenix rising, we see that symbolism all around us. And of course, that also ties in with the transformation. And we see a transformation already occurring by what they're doing inside of people's bodies underneath their skin, transforming their genetic code. So then we
right, and not only that, they want to transform society as a whole, right? They want to bring a new order out of chaos.
Of course, this man is getting carried into the water, right? And what are they clearly doing? Well, they're doing multiple things, right? Obviously, they're mocking baptism, which at this point, we see this type of stuff every single day where they mock Christianity, but they're mocking baptism by baptizing this man in gravy, right? And then they pull him out of the gravy and he's now a chicken finger, right? I mean, how's that for truth in plain sight? They hold up the chicken tender, everybody's cheering as that large golden egg stands in the background. And this is the truth in plain sight, because the majority of us are very aware, and you should be if you're not, about companies like Symbolism, who have partnered up with companies like Pepsi, right?
Now, do you know what Symbolism is? They are the company that is behind what you see in your ingredients list. When you see something that says natural flavors, it's got Symbolism in it. And I can give you like 3 guesses as to what Symbolism is. And let's just say it's got some sort of cell in it. Fetal. Okay. From unwanted pregnancies. Okay. Are you picking up? All right. I hope you get what I'm saying.
And of course, what's happened since then, people have realized that there's embryonic cells that are linked to Pepsi and the ingredients.
You just said it.
Because of what Symbolism is actually made of. And of course, you have all of the media outlets out there that immediately try to put up fact checks so that you can't find out information about what's really in your food. So they say, fact check, Pepsi does not contain aborted fetal cells. But the fact of the matter is the majority of processed food or anything that you get at the grocery store does contain these types of things. In fact, if you want to go further and look at KFC or McDonald's, there have been claims that have actually been backed up where human DNA has been found in the food. But of course, they'll just...
Listen, the second I see a fact check, in my mind, I'm like, okay, they're doing damage control. I should be paying attention to this.
Spin it and tell you that you're a conspiracy theorist if you're saying that there's any type of human remains or human DNA inside of any of these foods, right? But think about how trusting we are. We go to these places, our bodies are our temple, right? And we purchase these products. And I'm not saying we as if me and you are going to McDonald's today.
But listen, Lucifer hates God. And if he can do something to defile us, he's happy because it hurts God when we hurt.
Humans in general, just the way the human beings are now. Hundreds of years ago, people would farm themselves. They probably wouldn't be so trusting to consume food from complete strangers. We're not only consuming food from complete strangers, we know the people who run these corporations, from Kellogg's to General Mills to McDonald's. These are people that we could see with our own eyes are wicked people involved in these secret societies, big corporations working with big government. And then, of course, having 3-letter agencies like the FDA approving all of this stuff, getting put in the stores, and we go and people go and they buy and they consume, and then they just automatically go, well, there's no way I'm actually eating that. There's no way.
I mean, the FDA, they're totally on the up and up. I could not see them taking money or something for an approval. I mean, geez, everybody's totally honest.
I'm partaking in that, right? Then you got people out there who are getting kuru and thinking they have things like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's because they don't even realize what they're actually consuming, right? So they want to tell us all the time that things like that are conspiracy. Well, what do you actually see in this commercial?
Wow.
I mean, are people out there that naive? Like they see these commercials get more and more over the top and they just go, oh yeah, well, they're just trying to get it to people's attention. They're trying to get clickbait, right? But aren't you trying to sell the product? I mean, that's the point of a company. If you, whatever company you have in your own mind, if you wanted to create one, you'd say, well, how do I sell this? Right? If you're trying to sell books, if you were trying to sell some product you came up with, you say, how can I sell this to people? Like, how can I market it to them to make them say, oh, I might want to buy this. I might need this, right? Well, that wouldn't be the way that you would do it. If you were sitting in a boardroom at KFC, right? I'm sure right underneath a huge photo of Colonel Sanders in his Shriner's hat, and you're sitting in a boardroom, he said, hey, we need to get our sales up. You know, not a lot of people are getting KFC. They're going to Popeyes or they're going somewhere else. You'd say, well, why don't we do something that makes, just makes the food look good, right? No, you just come up in the boardroom and you go, hey, how about this giant golden egg comes down from the sky? We'll release a commercial right around Easter, which is a celebration of Ishtar, right? Nobody will realize the connection with Samarias and Nimrod. And then we'll take a human, we'll dip him and baptize him because we'll mock Christians out in the open because that's always good for marketing in pretty much a nation of Christians, right? We'll dip him in gravy and then he's no longer human. Now he's a chicken finger. So we're pretty much showing people out there that they're eating human meat, right? And everybody stood and applauded and they said, this is great. Let's greenlight this. Let's sell this immediately. Let's get this on the air as soon as possible. This will really help our sales. Oh, I mean, give me a break with this stuff. And all these companies are doing this now. You see stuff even like the Belluminati or some of the ones I've covered, really the Pizza Hut conspiracy commercials. These are ones that just come off the top of my head, or some of these like insurance companies having these mock things in the, grandma's basement where there's conspiracy theorists down there with a big board and all these arrows connecting and trying to make people like us look insane. But the fact of the matter is, these things are actually occurring. Most people don't want to believe that they're occurring. They actually don't want to believe it because if they actually knew the truth, it would be hard for them to actually survive because it's very chilling when you learn all of these things about secret societies, what they're doing with our food, right? Even just some of the basic stuff with the weed killer in the food. Companies like Synomics, which I just mentioned, right? Which openly, you look at the ingredients and what they put in. I mean, they openly have fetal cells or some of the stories about.
Right. And if you tell somebody that, they're going to look at you like you have three heads. They're going to say, nah, that's not true. It's just conspiracy.
Planned Parenthood and what happens to a lot of those youngsters that are taken out of there and where they end up going, right? And the connections to places like McDonald's. The truth is a hard pill to swallow, but it should be very easy for people out there to see. So to recap again, this is a commercial.
You know what? You have to love the truth more than you love being comfortable. Honestly. Because then once you have to be willing to choose, right? Because once you know the truth, you know that there's a battle. It's a spiritual battle. And you've got two options and you have to pick a side. People don't want to pick a side. They want to be comfortable in their ignorance. Just because you're not participating, just because you're not believing doesn't make it true. You can't ignore it forever. Eternity is a long time to be wrong.
They put on national television and people out there look at it. Of course, the first thing most people are upset about is the baptism part, but they should really look at the occult symbology because those same people were upset about the baptism in the commercial. They're probably going to be celebrating Easter with bunny rabbits and Easter eggs, and they don't even understand.
And they're probably going to be getting themselves baptized in their, Baptist church, thinking that that's what saves them when baptism was for a previous dispensation. And what saves us today is believing the gospel, and we are spiritually baptized into the body of Christ the moment we believe.
The connection again to the Babylonian queen Semiramis and her connection, of course, to her husband / son, Nimrod, who is celebrated on Christmas, right? So in the commercial, you had obviously the all-seeing eye of the chicken. I'm sure very clever, you know? I mean, most people don't notice those things, but it's like almost in every single thing, they zoom in on someone's eye. And nobody even notices it anymore, right? You got your golden egg descending from the sky, the man getting dipped and baptized in gravy. And of course, the joke's on you. Because while they'll deflect and say that it's just art, it's just creativity, the fact of the matter is, most people don't realize what they're even consuming when they're buying any of these products from these people who cannot be trusted. These people wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire to help put out the flame. In fact, they would only try to ignite it. So you think that they're actually trying to give you good, healthy food to make you feel good? You think that they're actually trying to give you real chicken meat? We know about the plant-based stuff, but most people out there don't know about any of this stuff revolving around fetal cells and the other things that they're doing in laboratories, which involve taking DNA and putting it, human DNA, and putting it actually in some of these products that are now consumed on a mass scale. So Kentucky Fried Chicken, folks, they'll get defended as being creative and artistic, but it couldn't be more obvious what this is. It's absolutely...
Right. Okay, they got the golden egg with believe over it.
The truth in plain sight, just like Colonel Sanders is, right? I'm sure he just was sitting around, he was trying to come up with some recipes, right? Of course, he didn't steal the recipe from some guy and then kill him, did he? Of course he did. You didn't know that? Come on.
Wow.
Just like the stories you about McDonald's, what happened to those poor guys that started McDonald's, right? They didn't intend for it to become what it is. They certainly didn't intend to sell human meat, right? These people hijack people's companies. They steal it from them. They kill them for it. They take their ideas. Freemasons, ladies and gentlemen, and
Yes,
they're living
they
in
do.
your towns. The Eastern Star, they're living in your towns. They're pretending to be members of your church. And of course, they still get worship to this day because we still see commercials where celebrities dress up as Colonel Sanders, right? Paying homage to their Masonic brother. It's an absolutely sickening world we live in. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.
You know, and they'll also buy these smaller companies out, but keep the name, keep their family story and stuff on the product. So then the consumer doesn't know that the product that they are buying, that they've been buying, has changed owners and is now just part of the conglomerate. Once again, more occult symbolism right in our faces. It never, ever ends. I love you guys, and I appreciate you hanging out with me again. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay prayed up and stay highly motivated.
Put on the full armor of God and stay prayed up and highly motivated. We are the body of Christ, we stay prayed up and highly motivated.
Are you ready to make a bold statement for Jesus Christ? The Highly Motivated merch store has everything you need to stand for truth and share the gospel everywhere you go. We've just dropped some brand new designs, including some featuring our sleek new logo. From powerful Bible verses to faith-filled messages, every piece is crafted to spark conversations and shine His light in the darkest places. Don't just wear it, live it. Check out the Highly Motivated merch store today and join our mission to have all people be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth.
Join the family like sharing